Shalom uvracha. This week we have an opportunity to speak about midat Sodom. The halacha is kofin al midat Sodom. What does it mean, kofin al midat Sodom? It means that halacha can force somebody to behave in a particular way if he's not behaving in a nice way, and like a mensch. If he's trying to behave like a Sodom person, then we force him to behave otherwise. Example, if a person is niftar and they're dividing his fields amongst his sons, if one of the sons has a field which is nearby the nachla, the chelik of the father, other sons shouldn't allow him to have that chelik, so he can have a retzef between his chelik and the chelik that he's yarshining. Otherwise, he'd have to go between two different fields. If the other brothers to say, no, we would dafka want that chelik, that's midat Sodom. Kofin midat Sodom means we force people to behave in a way which is appropriate and which is not dafka midat Sodom. We're not going to allow people to act in an inappropriate manner. Because what is the midat Sodom? Sodom is we're not going to share, we're not going to help. This is one of the yesodot of zen henev zelo chaser. If it doesn't hurt me that someone else should gain, why should I prevent someone from gaining? That was Sodom. Sodom did not allow anybody to have anything good. They don't want to help anybody, even if there was nothing off their backs. So that's kofin al midat Sodom. The Mishna Avot says, if a person says, shali shali v'shelcha shilcha, zu midah binonit, and some say, yesh omrim zu midat Sodom. There's many very nice commentaries. What does it mean? I saw Rabbi Noam Himelstein says that if a few people are like that, shali shali shilcha shilcha, okay, binonit, not great, but not terrible. Yesh omrim, but the minute it's the majority, when people are saying it, that's the midah, that's midat Sodom. And what's wrong with this? You see, when you think about it, what's wrong with that? Shali shali shilcha shilcha. I'm not stealing. I'm not taking anything from you. Mine is mine. Yours is yours. What's wrong with that? That's midat Sodom. Why? Because midat Sodom is, I'm not going to look out for you. I'm going to keep to the letter of the law. In the world of Sodom, when you think about it, maybe they were right. They worked hard. They have their fields. They have their streets. They have their palaces in the town. They were in the Kikar HaYarden. They made the climate wasn't easy. They made a beautiful town. Why should other people come and trample it? That's the law. Shali shali shilcha shilcha. Don't intrude. Let me do my stuff, and then they punish you if you came and interrupted them and tried to get something from them. Midat Sodom means the letter of the law is what I'm going to keep to, and that's problematic. You can't have a society. You can't even have a family that lives by the letter of the law. A couple gets married, a chassid and a kala. They each obligate themselves to certain things. The husband's going to support the wife's going to look after the home. Very nice. A couple can't survive. You just go by the letter of the law. This is what I'm expecting. So it has to be vitorim. You have to be able to give in to each other. You have to go beyond the letter of the law. I heard many years ago, I remember Rabbi Noam said, the halacha is the floor, but the lifnim mishrat adin, you have to go much farther. You can't have a society which lives by the letter of the law of shali shali v'shelcha shilcha. That will not work. To a certain extent, you could even say that the midah of Sodom is personified by the mitah of Sodom. The mitah of Sodom is, of course, the bed of Sodom. And everybody knows the famous story that a guy would come, and if he's too short, they'd stretch him out. If he's too long, they'd chop off his limbs. Figuratively, what it means is that you had to conform. And if you had different ideas, you didn't fit with them. And if you had an option to be even a little better, that wasn't good. You had to be exactly like them. There's no place for anything beyond what they saw as the letter of the law. And that's midat Sodom. And you can't have a society, you can't have a political entity, you can't have a social possibility of people living from whether to family to a state, if you're living just by the letter of the law. That's midat Sodom. You have to go beyond. You have to go lifnim mishuras adin. Avram personifies the exact opposite. Avram is the midah of chesed. Even when it's not comfortable for him, even when he's just had a bris milah, the people come, anashim pshutim, Vayera, he's running around like a meshugana to look after them. And with Avram, it wasn't an extreme, it wasn't a chumrah. That was who he was. That was who his whole personality was somebody who's chesed, giving more. The pasuk says that why is Avraham being chosen? Ki dativ l'man asher yitzaveh banav ve'bito acharav v'sharmu derech Hashem lasod tzedakah u'mishpat. Notice, tzedakah comes before mishpat. You can't have mishpat alone. Tzedakah must precede it. Titen emet li'Yaakov, chesed la'Avraham. We are bnei banim Avraham. We cannot live by midat Sodom. We cannot live by the letter of the law. The Jewish creed is to go more than that, the extra mile in our day-to-day activities. Chesed. We are bnei banim Avraham, rachmani bnei rachmanim. That is how we build the Jewish people. Shabbat shalom u'mevorach.